Now it's time to step aside and hand over my kitchen to a passionate chef as he makes me a traditional Spanish pastry. One of the great things about Britain is that you can get authentic food from all around the world. I'm joined now by a Spanish chef, Omar Aliboy, who works in London, and he loves pies and puds as much as me. Hola, Omar.
Hola.
Now, all these cakes and puddings and pies and tarts look absolutely incredible. I know you're about to get involved with a serious dish.
Yes.
Now, I don't want to take any more of your time up. Please, take over the kitchen. I'm going to sit down here. If you need me to do absolutely anything, let me know.
I may ask. There's quite a lot of work. And this is an ensaimada mallorquina. Maybe a bit like an strudel.
OK, yeah.
OK?
OK. Ensaimada mallorquina is a pastry dessert from Mallorca and is made to celebrate festive occasions.
So I put 2 eggs, the milk, a bit of water here, the yeast, the flour, and the sugar. This is all that we need for the dough itself.
Yes.
I'm going to put it into this mixer, if I can make it work. These machines are always against us. It's important that you work it a lot. If you don't have a mixer, just work it with your own hands. But we need a lot of gluten to come through so it becomes a very elastic dough. That is one of the key elements of this recipe.
No, it's just dawned on me, Omar. You're my Spanish counterpart. You're exactly the same as me. You're just as passionate. Don't you just come with... We'll just make different things.
Yeah, I first started baking when I was just 5. I was actually a baker before I became a chef.
They see you've dropped down. This is what happened. Go on, sorry, mate. You carry on.
You know, after this time, this is the texture that it has.
It's beautiful. It stretches, doesn't it?
It's very stretchy. And if you don't mind helping me take all this out, we're going to take over the whole lot. Omar has brought a selection of Spanish pies and puds that I've never seen before.
What's this one, then?
This is the Roscón de Reyes. The Christmas in Spain lasts from the 24th of December until the 6th of January.
Yeah.
And the 6th of January being the most important day, okay? So this is a brioche type of cake with a triple fermentation and candied fruits on top.
And so, moving on to this one, this looks quite important, actually.
Yeah, the Tarta de Santiago, I mean, it comes again from Galicia, and it's from, it's in honor of the Saint Santiago, and it's an almond tart.
That's like akin to our Bakewell tart, but we don't have a saint all over the top of it. And this looks similar to a creme caramel.
It does, and it's essentially the same. The only difference is that it's made with only egg yolks as opposed to the whole eggs.
Okay.
And we are not using any milk or dairy.
Right.
It's basically an infused syrup of lemon cinnamon poured over the egg yolk.
And what's that one called?
Tocinillo de cielo. It's heaven's fat.
Ah, right. It is indeed. It is indeed. OK, you said you need this space. If I move some of this out of the way...
I'm going to start by pouring a bit of olive oil over the table.
Here we go. Time to get stuck in and help my Spanish counterpart to do some serious dough making.
And if you don't mind helping me, we are gonna get a bit messy. Okay. We need all this table with a very thin layer of oil. In this case, it's olive oil. You can use vegetable oil, but keeping things Spanish, you better use
Spanish oil.
Spanish olive oil. Brilliant. So this dough, which is incredibly fine, okay? I'm gonna put it in the middle, and we are gonna shape it a bit like a rectangle first. Okay. Nothing else. And if you can pass me that rolling pin. So we are gonna put a bit of olive oil, and what we are going to do is just stretch from the middle towards the outside parts. You can see it tends to come back to its natural position where it was. Okay, so we do this a couple of times until it responds to our demands. Something I'm going to ask you, meanwhile I do this, is if you can work on that lard and the sobrasada.
Sobrasada, what's this?
That's sort of like a chorizo pate.
Oh, it is, yeah.
It's pork with a lot of fat, a lot of paprika, de pimentón, and a few other natural spices.
I always get the dirty jobs.
Come on.
So can you get this stuff in Britain easily?
Well, through the internet this day, you can get anything.
Okay.
But otherwise, you can buy a fresh chorizo sausage,
Yep.
put some lard in, just
Got
chop
you.
it incredibly finely.
What an incredible colour.
Yeah, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. So that's been worked on, and now what we are going to do, ideally you leave it resting for a minute or two,
Yep.
because those like to be rest all the time. And we are gonna start stretching this dough, okay?
It's hard to believe that this dough will end up nearly twice the size as you see it now. If you do try this at home, don't worry about making a few holes.
And now, there you have it. We are gonna start spreading this mix. So if
Okay.
you can do half of it and I
Yep.
do the other half. There you have it. Okay, that's why it needs to be sort of tempered.
Yep.
Otherwise, you will, it won't be very easy to work with.
Okay. And you want it all the way down to the bottom, or you leave a gap?
No, all the way, completely covered. It's a 3 centuries old recipe that is all over, but it's done in Mallorca. Now that we've
This is
done it,
Mallorca, is it?
yeah, from the islands, and now we are just gonna roll it over itself, and just keep going all the way until we have it.
I see what you mean. It is a bit strudel-like. It's got that look and feel of a strudel, but it's got a lot more strength to it, you know?
Yeah, I mean, and this is a big one, okay?
Yeah.
You can do as small as you want, and with the fillings that you want. We are doing a savory one, even though that the dough had some sugar. And what we are going to do is we're going to start shaking this dough. So if you take that from that end,
Yep.
and me from this one,
It's like a
and
tug of war.
we start stretching it. Let's see how long we go. There, around, what is
that-
it, 2.5 meters?
Yeah, at least,
Well,
yeah.
much taller than you and me, by the way. So this is good enough.
Okay.
And now we are just going to put it in a baking tray. So we would start just on the middle, okay? So now we are just going to flip it over itself and
Yeah.
turn it around like a endless spiral.
Yes. Spread it out.
Spread it out, okay?
Okay.
And we will leave this fermenting for 24 hours.
Now, I know over there you've got one that looks as though it has been going. I'm just going to wash my hands quickly, actually.
Yeah.
Covered.
This is ready to go into the oven. It doesn't need egg wash, it doesn't need anything.
Okay.
So this
Well,
goes...
that'll grow even more in the oven anyway, won't it? It's going to balloon up again.
If you leave it there, it will continue growing naturally. This goes into the oven at 200 degrees for around 15, 18 minutes,
Okay.
depending on the oven.
Okay.
But we have one that we've already done,
Okay.
that it's over here, which is been cooling down a bit.
Wow.
Yes.
That looks
Okay,
incredible.
that's the natural color. Don't feel it's burnt or nothing at all. And
yeah.
actually, take a look. It's a bit crispy.
Beautiful. That's perfect, though, isn't it? That crispiness inside.
And even below it, take a look below, because it's quite important.
Wow,
The
yeah.
baking below as well. No, it's not just about the look above it. Now we're gonna put a bit more icing sugar on the top.
Okay.
But that makes it all very, very delicious. Not too much.
That looks fantastic. So what's the name of this dish again?
Ensaimada mallorquina con sobrasada.
He's just made that.
Yes.
Fantastic.
Omar's Mallorcan pastry looks and smells extraordinary.